good. I was just calling to see how your birthday was.
Oh my God, we had so much fun.
What was the vibes? Was everyone there?
Are the Kardashians faking storylines to cover up the Astroworld scandal? Hey guys, and welcome back to another shared news. We've got to get into deleted scenes being cut out of the Kardashians, but before we get into the mess, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you're always up to date with all things Kardashians. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, joined by the lovely Gianna Gravelse. Gianna, it's been a minute, so I got to know, how are you doing? And are you ready to get into this mess?
Oh, I mean, I'm always ready to get into any Kardashian Jenner mess. I just feel like it's one thing after another after another. Like, is there a day that they're not in the headlines? Seriously, any one of them? The answer is no. And it's just baffling to me. So I can't wait to get into it.
Well, they're always in the headlines, whether it's good or it's bad, and today it is not looking so good. Now, this season of The Kardashians on Hulu has had everyone talking, as we have been keeping up with their lives for a pretty long time, so things on the screen are not necessarily adding up. The Kardashians have been accused of faking a scene on their Hulu show to avoid addressing Astroworld and the tragedy that was. In the latest episode, many viewers were confused when Kendall Jenner implied she was missing from her mom, Kris Jenner's birthday, because she was in Miami. However, it's well known that Kris Jenner's birthday was the same time as the tragedy that was the Astroworld Festival, where hundreds of people were injured, some killed, and we know that Kendall and Kylie were in fact at Astroworld. So are we surprised when we're seeing this all play out on the screen? Because things aren't necessarily aligning.
You know, shout out to whoever caught this little blip, I guess, because I didn't realize it when I was watching the episode last week. You know, I just thought, oh, it's Kris Jenner's birthday. I mean, I guess I'm not a super fan because I didn't know when Kris's birthday was. Then to see Kendall in Miami, I mean, I wasn't sure if Kendall was at Astroworld or not. I kind of forgot. And I think I forgot because they did a good job back then at kind of like covering Astroworld up as much as they could. And now fast forward to now, it's not in the show whatsoever. So, you know, you have to think too, Kourtney and Travis got engaged in October. And then this episode, if it was Kris Jenner's birthday, was supposed to be in November. We know that the Astroworld thing happened then. And I can just totally see them in the moment being like, we are not talking about Astroworld on the show right now. Like, somebody figure out how we can cover it up. Like, we'll film a scene later. We'll pull a scene that's deleted from previous episodes. So it was intentional, but all in all, I'm not surprised whatsoever. I'm more surprised at the fact that the crazy Kardashian Jenner fan detectives really picked up on this one.
Well, even if we are Kardashian Jenner detectives or not, do you know that there are so many of them out there who are keeping up with their life? So when we get to this reality show, I feel like we already knew pretty much everything that happened because we follow them, you know, in the headlines, as you mentioned, on social media. So I'm not surprised that people were able to put this two and two together. I think the issue is that they're trying to kind of cover it up with this fake storyline about why Kendall couldn't go to her mom's birthday, when they could have just maybe tried to not stretch the truth a little bit and just maybe not mention it. I don't know, because it is the Kardashians. It's not the Scotts. I mean, Kendall and Kylie are barely involved in the show anyway. And I mean, if they were part of the show or they wanted to be this season, maybe they were filming a lot. And then this Astroworld tragedy perhaps, you know, got rid of any footage that they were filming at the time because no one expected it to take such a left turn. Now, we saw Kendall was in Miami with Hailey Bieber getting her IVs since they're on their health journey. And Kendall even said in her confessional, I love these little trips that we do. I'm just sad that I'm missing my mom's birthday. And I mean, the reason she missed her mom's birthday, though, to clarify, is because she was in Houston. And then I guess she went to Miami right after. So she was away for a little bit of time and completely missed the celebration. But what do you think they could have done differently, Gianna, to make fans not so upset? Because they're trying to cover up a tragedy here when they maybe could have not lied about the whole plot line about why she missed her mom's birthday to begin with, to avoid any attention being brought up about this.
Yeah, I feel like exactly what you said. Like, why stretch the truth when you could have just not mentioned anything about it whatsoever? It's like they're literally making up a fake plot line. And it's like, if they like put Kris in a confessional and just said, oh, Kendall and Kylie won't be at my birthday, but everyone else is going to be there, I'm sure it would have went right
Mhm.
over all of our heads, like completely. Like, it's
Mhm.
crazy to me. And while I was watching it, like I said, I didn't pick up on it in the moment, but I definitely thought, like, this Miami scene seems really random. All we saw was her and Haley getting the
Mhm.
IVs. There was no mention of what they were doing, what they were excited about. They were going to go, like, why they were even there. Nothing. It just felt so forced. And then we didn't even see them like outside of the hotel whatsoever. Like, there was nothing. So
Mhm.
I'm like, that seemed a little unnecessary as it was. So like I mean, they just could have completely cut it out as a whole. And I know on the other hand, they don't really want to mention the tragedy anymore, but they could have put like a more in there for the victims just to be like, unfortunately, like at the time of this recording, Kendall and Kylie were at Astro World. Like we know what happened there, and like, and they could have turned it into a thing to commemorate like the people that unfortunately like passed or got severely injured there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm not a producer, so I don't know, but I just don't like that they stretch the truth so much.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if they just don't want to draw attention to it, or maybe there's something legal going on behind the scenes. I mean, we don't get much of Kendall and Kylie anyway on the Kardashians, and we haven't for a while, even when they were on E. So, as I mentioned, like they could have maybe filmed and things just got cut. But I kind of agree with you. The whole Kendall and Haley scene seemed unnecessary because they just didn't seem like they wanted to be there. And I mean, it's just like, do Kendall and Kylie like even have to film if they don't want to? Like, what are they getting out of this? If they are already, doing so many big things in their career with their makeup and their modeling and everything, it's like they don't have to be on the show because clearly they don't want to be there. Now, fans are really speculating that, this all kind of was a plot line and that the editing is a little messy and there could be some lies detected. And it's been highly suspected that the Kardashians postponed their premiere date to edit out any mention of the Astroworld tragedy, which has been a huge part of their lives in the last year. Now, we know Kendall was not actually pictured in Miami until November 12th, which she was photographed by the paparazzi after a full week since Kris's birthday. So do you think it's because there could be something legal going on? Or is it a way to protect Kylie? Or is this just kind of shady of them on all fronts?
I really need like a full timeline. Like, I need like the date of Kris Jenner's birthday. Then I need like the date that anyone saw Kendall in Miami, like anything that we can dig up. Um, but again, it's very sketchy because we know that the Astroworld tragedy happened either on or even around Kris Jenner's birthday. And then she had her dinner on or around her birthday. So, like, the events, that's a
Mhm.
fact. That's not us just speculating. That's a full fact. I feel as though not only do the Kardashians not want to relive the tragedy on their end because it was a tragedy, it was a really unfortunate circumstance, but we have to remember there are still lawsuits going on. There were people that literally died. There's stuff with Travis going on. And anything that the Kardashians could have possibly said on the show or any mention, even if it was not the worst mention, it could be used in court. So I feel like we all know how they work. They have lawyers up the wazoo that are helping them with anything and everything they post, whether it's on social media, on the show XYZ with somebody else. And I think that they were probably heavily advised to just not include any mention of the Astroworld tragedy. But again, did this condone this fake storyline plot with Kendall? No, I think it just could have been Chris's birthday's happening. Kendall's not going to be there, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean they didn't even mention why Kylie wasn't there, so they completely edited her
Right.
storyline out completely. So I'm just like kind of interested to see if Kendall and Kylie what their roles will be the rest of the season. There's only 5 episodes left. We're halfway through the season. So I mean, if it gets any sketchier or any scenes seem to be out of place, since I mentioned we keep up with them on their real lives, whether it's on the show or not, like we will know and we will be able to detect it because this is not the only storyline that seemed fishy this season. While seeing contact numbers on Kris's phone during scenes, Kylie's contact was named Kylie New 2022, while Kim's was listed as Kimbo 2022, but yet those scenes were supposedly shot in 2021. So fans are a little iffy about what's going on. They're already on to them. And a lot of fans also don't believe that Saint really saw the pop-up ad on Roblox for Kim's alleged sex tape and that she faked that phone call where she was crying and said, "I will burn these people to the ground." Now, reality shows are known to make fake storylines. It's not the first time that it's happened on this show or any show. So, I mean, do we think the Kardashians should be held to a higher standard because they're one of the most popular shows? And I mean, what do you think about this season overall as far as like accuracy to their real lives?
I mean, yeah, so far it's been pretty accurate, right? Especially the stuff with Kim, because we're looking at everything that's happening with Kim and Pete and Kanye and the sex tape. And we do remember seeing some stuff about this in the headlines. I remember talking about how Kanye allegedly flew all the way to get Ray J's laptop and hard drive and then all the way back to New York. That
Mhm.
literally was going down. And like we're seeing it firsthand. Um, I think with all reality TV, like you said, Zach, there's going to be plot lines that are over exaggerated or even just made up on the spot. I did think it was a little sketchy that Saint just so happened at a family barbecue to get this ad on Roblox that his own mother's face was on. I don't really think she faked the phone call because those were like real tears. And we've seen Kim cry
Mhm.
time and time again. And we know that she's not like the best actress in the
Mhm.
world. So, do I think some stuff again is over exaggerated? Yes. Do I think producers sometimes want to trickle in some storylines? Of course. I mean, that's how you get any reality TV show. It can't be reality TV without some sort of guidance and manipulation. So, the
Mhm.
season as a whole, though, I'm still enjoying it. Like, I'm truly still enjoying it. I think it's just because we're finally finding out how Kim and Pete got their start. We're finally finding like we're seeing the behind the scenes of Courtney and Travis and the proposal, and then hopefully we even hear stuff about wedding planning in the next few episodes. But yeah, it's these Card Jenners, man. I again, they just give us a reason to talk about them nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, they've been, reality stars for 2 decades now. So I think that they have more to lose as they are so famous and there's so many lawsuits around them and scandals and controversies. And, they've mastered the art of the game. They also play roles as producers and executive producers and they're involved with the editors. So there's definitely things that we see on the show that aren't real as they were back in the day when they were first getting started. So that kind of comes and it goes, but we're on to them and we are keeping up and we do keep up all year round. So there are some things this season that do seem a little inauthentic to me, which is kind of, ranking it lower than other reality shows that kind of bear it all. And I think that's kind of why they had their run. And I mean, they're still going. We still love them, but the show is definitely not the same. And this whole editing scandal, I mean, do you think it will be addressed? And do you think we'll even get a reunion for the Kardashians after this season?
Ooh, I mean, I feel again, they would address this whole thing in the media, right? But that could dig them a
Yeah.
hole and it could land them in court in one of these lawsuits going on for the Astroworld victims and their families. Like, you just don't want to say anything
Hmm.
because it could be used against you. Um, if it's just so hard to say, right? Because obviously, Kris Jenner is like queen of damage control and this is really really
Hmm.
bad and this story is blowing up as we speak all over social media. So I just because of the circumstances I don't think they're going to address it, but lawsuits aside, if there were none, I think Chris or somebody would address it 100%. I mean, we've been seeing Kim even call out people accusing her of Photoshop.
Hmm.
She even addressed the Photoshop thing with the kids at Disneyland too. Like, she's finally telling the truth and being candid about that. And I love seeing this side of her. So I would love to see more of that from her and the rest of the family. So hopefully they continue. But again, because this is such a tragedy and there's still legality around it, I don't know if they'll say anything.
Yeah, we really just don't know. And, Kylie and Travis just walked the BBMA's red carpet over the weekend, and there was no mention of that. So, I mean, Travis and Kylie are definitely together. They're entering the world publicly together as a couple. So, there's going to be lots of developing updates on this story, and we'll be watching the rest of the season of The Kardashians and talking about it here. So, before you guys go, make sure to leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below, and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you're always up to date with all things reality TV and The Kardashians. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, joined by Gianna Gravelse. Feel free to come say hi to us on our social medias on the screen right now, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.